What up, party people? It's me, Ellie B. I'm back. As promised in my email this morning. The heck? I'm back to talk about Christmas. I'm still super sick, so I sound horrible. My sincerest apologies. But let's dive in because I want to get this checked off my to-do list. And, of course, share all my wonderful stories with you guys. So let's dive in. So I'd like to start off by saying that I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to Aquaphor because it keeps blistering like right here. It says my nose is getting better, but when I put it on my lips, it blistered it. Well, I don't want to get my stank nose up in there, but it blistered my lips. So I don't know. I gotta find a substitute, but it really hurts. And one person was like, "Oh, lip injections," and I was like, "No, just a blister." Anyway, let's get started on Christmas. So I flew in before Robert, so I got in on December 3rd, got the car that the Hearts had graciously left for me at the airport, and drove home. So I got extra snuggle time with mom and dad, obviously. I did get my hair cut again because it was looking kind of ratty. It was just like a weird length, so I got to get it cut short again. I'm not going to show you because my hair looks absolutely insane right now. Like, all over the place. It was wet last night. Don't tell my mom. She says it's going to give me some fungus on my head. We read some article. Anyway, the point is, I got home, got my hair cut, tried to get some, taking care of business with, I have, a million doctor's appointments, but they were all in the future. So I spent some QT with mom. I got a whole day with dad. So I got in on a Tuesday. Wednesday, dad and I spent, from 9 to, noon together. He had a whole, morning plan. So we got breakfast at this new breakfast place. This biscuit place was delicious. And then we went, he showed me some new cool spots downtown. He showed me this bookshop. It's like my new happy place. It's called All Good Books. It's downtown, or it's in Five Points. It's across from, Saluda's. If there's Saluda's, and then there's a fountain, and then the street, it's, right there on, the same strip with, the, Asian restaurant. The post office, and then there's the Asian restaurant on the corner. If you go to the right of the Asian restaurant, it's All Good Books. It's in white. It's really pretty. It's cute. I will go ahead and spoil the ending, but my book is in there under local authors. You'll see Shelby Oval with Out of Embers and Shadows. I'm going to email them because my second book, Into Flames and Shadows, just released. So I'm going to tell them to put it in there too. It released yesterday in paperback. And then for ebook, it comes out on the 15th. So if you're an ebook reader, pre-order that ebook. I've sold 9, so huzzah, almost double digits. But, fingers crossed, we're hoping. My therapist loved it, which should say something. Anyway, I'll get to that later. But so dad had this whole little morning planned. Then I got some QT with Lainey. And then mom and I had to do some work because my house needed it, right? It was, as most of you know, Robert and I bought a house on Buckingham Circle, which is behind the Whole Foods in Cross Hill, the Cross Hill area. And Cross Hill, I think that's what it's called. The Whole Foods market thing. I mean, we could throw a rock at, the Whole Foods complex. So we bought that. We completely renovated it. And so it was finally ready for us to move in. I had one room I wanted to paint. So I, made a little paint party with the girls. So I had the girls of the family come over. This is out of order, and I'm really sorry, but it's just how my brain's working right now. So I did have the girls of the family come over. So, Nana got sick, so she couldn't. And then Robert's mom got sick, so she couldn't. But we had Lainey, and we had Linda, and Brooks, and Hadley, and me, Mom, and Eliza. Yeah. And Linda. I said Linda, yeah. And so Robert painted one of the rooms green, this, front room that I wanted to be, bright and happy because it's got these big 2 windows. So he painted Carpathian Dawn, which I think is, the coolest name ever for a paint. Carpathian Dawn. Eliza was like, please tell me you're not painting it that color because of the name. I'm like, no, but also, it's a cool name. So Robert painted it Carpathian Dawn, and then we went in and painted, these stencils that we got. So we, taped the stencils to the wall, and then we, painted them. So Mom and Liza and I did, you'll see pictures. We did, a bunch, and then we left, 7-ish, 9-ish for everybody else to do, to be able to do, 1 or 1.5. And they take them off, and they actually look really good. There were some that were so, you'll see pictures of it, but, look how sweet this one is. I don't think I put a picture. It's isn't that the sweetest? So we did all these flowers, and they're really pretty, but it's on, an accent wall, so you don't really see it. I also had like a million doctor's appointments for my hip, for my wrist, like all my checkups and everything, which obviously I should probably go to the doctor now because of my delicious sinus infection. But the wrist doctor was basically like, you're SOL, which sucked. I did get an injection. I got a steroid shot, or cortisol, or whatever it's called, into my wrist. He told me there'd be slight pain, and instead I like thought I was losing my arm. Like I was confident they were gonna have to amputate. I wanted them to amputate. That's how bad it hurt. I was on the floor like snot crying. Not great. But it's, hey, we're wiggling. I have much more flexibility, which is nice. Like I can go up and down now. It's not as stiff. But I also haven't been using it because I haven't been writing. But he said like he could do a surgery, but they don't know if it would fix anything. So not gonna do that. The hip doctor, the first one sucked. The second one was so nice. Dr. Browning at Midlands Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. He's so sweet. He like looked at my MRI and everything and was like, yeah, your labrum is torn, like for sure. Corroborated by Dr. Aitchison, like labrum in pieces. So he said that I have like extra bone or whatever. Long short of it is, doesn't feel that short, but long short of it is, I'm getting a surgery April 21st. So whoop whoop, hip surgery. I'm very excited. I'm coming home for it, obviously. So Mom and I have a trip planned in April for the UK, and then I'll come back to America with her. So like I'll do just a multi-city flight, come back to America with her, get my surgery the day after Easter, and I'm looking at being in America for like maybe like 4 weeks, because I'll be on crutches with a hip brace for 4 weeks. But I'm excited about it, so I'm ready. I'm ready to not hurt all the time. I'm ready to go on hikes and not worry about like, oh, is it uphill? Is it going to be long? Like even just walking around hurts. So we're ready. But anyway, back to Christmas. So we did a lot of stuff at the house. Poor Robert, he did a lot of stuff on his own with the house, because once Liza got in town, we only got to see her for like 5 days. So I really wanted to make sure I could see her as much as possible. So Robert did a lot by himself. We moved a bunch of furniture in. We had like 2 full days that was just us like moving in furniture. Like Mom had work, Dad had work. We were just furniture, placing things, opening boxes, because a lot of this stuff was our wedding presents. So we were like opening it up and seeing what we wanted to stay in the house, because it's a rental property, so I don't want like my fine china. So then we had to take it all over to either the storage at Lainey's apartment, or like up in the attic or wherever. So we're like doing everything with the house. Since Liza was only in town for 5 days, we did like a fake Christmas with her. So we had all like Hadley and Liam and Robert, so the extras, came and spent the night. Obviously Robert was spending the night, and obviously Liam, where's he gonna go? But Hadley came, and Edward, and we all stayed. We all piled into the dad's den, like my dad's den, and so we had a mattress for me and Liza, a couch for Hadley, an air mattress for Edward, an air mattress for Liam, and Robert had his tent cots. We did the pickle, like we went and hunt for the pickle. We did a big dinner. We opened presents, like we played games until the wee hours of the morning. And then we crashed. Absolutely crashed. All crashed in the bed. And then the next day was the cousin Christmas. So then we all woke up, got dressed, went out to Belgrove, and Mom's like whole side of the family. I think there was like a total of 30 of us out there. So it was all the Rinces except for Nick, all the Burnsides, and then all us Brantleys with our significant others. All the kids came. I mean, it was like a whole thing. So we all went out there. We were there for like 4 hours. We did lunch. Mom hosted an amazing set of games. My team did not win. I won my game, but my team did not win. So I got to see Dottie Bain, obviously. Got to see the whole... It was like kind of the first time all 9 of us, like core grandkids, have been together in like kind of a while. Because like last year, I think Eliza was missing, or Edward was missing, or the year before that, someone else was missing. So it was nice to have all 9 of us like in the same space, you know? Like the 4 Rince girls, Robert and Brooks, and then me, Edward, Liza. So we were all together. It was really, you'll see a picture of all 9 of us. It's crazy. None of us look the same to me, which is weird. Like, we don't look alike, I mean. And naturally, we had matching PJs the night before. Felt like I needed to mention that. So then after that, the Burnsides came over, and we just, like, hung out with them. We did the cookie party at the Penlands, and then the Burnsides came over, and we just hung out. No, the Burnsides didn't come over. The Rinces came over. No, the Burnsides and the Rinces. People came back to our house. I'm trying to remember who it was. I know the Rinces did. I know it was, like, Robbie and her husband Charlie and their daughter Jalen and their son Parrish, and then Debbie and Ricky, and maybe Brooks. I don't remember. We had a lot of people at the house, and we hung out with them until it was time to crash, and then we went to bed. And then Sunday, we just did church and lunch. And then Eliza left on Monday. So Monday, Robert and I drove her up to the airport in like the crack of dawn. She slept for like most of it. Then we went to Spartanburg to see Rev Ron, and then to Greenville to see our friend Grace Hannah, who just had her baby. You'll see a picture of baby Henry Price. I'm in love with him. Actually, you won't see a picture of baby Henry Price. I'm deciding now to take him out of it because he's not my baby to post, but I'm obsessed with him. So, yeah, it was amazing. He was born on Christmas Day because he's amazing. He's sensational. I love him. I get him gifts everywhere I go. He is going to be spoiled. I am going to spoil him. Anyway, so we saw our therapist in Spartanburg. We saw Grace Hannah in Greenville, ate lunch with her and Jordan, and then went and saw Rev Ron, which was really great to see him because he's the guy who married us. So it was really nice to get to see him and to hear about Wofford and everything that's going on in America because we haven't been here. So it was good to talk to him and to fill him in on what we're doing because he did play like a key role in our life. And then we came back and we did all my doctor's appointments. So Robert came with me to a couple, Mom came with me to a couple, and then Mom and I like finished up the house as best we could. And then we went up to Hickory, and it was like time for Christmas. So we went up to the mountains first for like 2 nights maybe, and it snowed. It wasn't a lot of snow like the time before, but it snowed. What you're hearing, by the way, that is my washing machine. I don't know if it's a Brantley thing or if it's like washing machines worldwide. The Hart's washing machine doesn't make noise to my knowledge. It sounds like it's a spaceship. It's a spaceship taking off. And so I don't know what to do about that. But this is the sound it is. I can't wait for it to stop because it's like a 45-minute cycle. I don't have time for that. So I'm trying to shout over it presently. So we went up to the mountains. It snowed. We went on some walks. I did some writing stuff. It was just very relaxed, which was good because in Columbia, we were rushing to get our house done, and Laz was coming in town, and family was coming in town. So we got to just take it slow, which was needed for like 2 days, but it was also freezing cold. And the way the heating works, for some reason, our room was like just blasting heat. So for the first night, I was like soaking wet. And then the second night, she had cut it off, and I was freezing to death. I'm like, okay, there's got to be a happy medium in here. Something's not right. And then from there, we went down to Hickory. Robert went and saw a bunch of his family friends that he wanted to see, or like Randy, his banjo teacher. They went and like played banjo together. And I went into the chiropractor for the first time because my back's been hurting for like, since October. And he was like, yeah, it probably has to do with your hip. And he like cracked it twice, and I was like, I'm not a big fan. But then he put me on this bed, y'all. And it had this, like, rolly thing, and it, like, rolls under you, and you, like, do this, like, oh, sensational. I want to purchase one for my home. It looked like it was from the 80s, so surely we can find one online. And then we did Christmas Eve. So we went to Nate's Christmas service. So Nate is Rebecca's husband, Robert's older sister. He's great. He was a music teacher, and now he just is music full-time. And he is, like, the leader. I don't know the words, so I'm sorry if someone's listening to this, like, cringing. He's the leader. He's the pianist, but leader of, like, the church band. But they're hired by the church. It's not like, they're like the church band, like, they're Lifeline. No, they're, like, hired by the church to play. And it was, like, a concert, man. It was dope. And he was, like, they played, like, traditional songs, like Silent Night, but it had, listen, I caught on to it, and Robert didn't, and I felt really cool. Because I was like, this is a very slow version of whatever song it might have been Silent Night. And Robert's like, no, it's normal. And I was like, no, something's wrong. Like, it's too slow. Not that it was bad, but, like, I was like, my brain is, like, tweaking because it's not the right, like, it's not not cadence. I don't know the words. And then the next night, Nate was like, did you guys notice anything? And I was like, tell me Silent Night was slow. He was like, yeah, we slowed it down. I'm like, I knew it. Like, my brain had been itching, and it was, like, the most satisfying, like, yes, it had been slow. So then we got to eat Mexican afterwards with Nate and Rebecca. And then the next day we went on like Christmas Eve, we went on a very lovely walk, like a long walk. They have this new, like, Hickory something, river walk, something. I have to be really loud now because it's taking flight. So there's like this Hickory, you know what, I'm just going to go look and see how much time there is. It's too loud. It was being so dramatic, but it's done now. So anyway, where was I? We went to a lovely walk in Hickory. They have this new, like, river walk thing. Some of it was closed after Helene. It was really quite nice. I think we walked, like, 3 miles or something, with Rigby and Millie, obviously. So it was us and the Harts and then Nate and Rebecca. And Then that night we made spaghetti because their like Christmas Eve tradition is to eat spaghetti. So we made spaghetti. Margaret made her mom's meat sauce recipe, and I made my creamy tomato sauce recipe, like for the sauces. And we handmade spaghetti, and then we tried to make this like bread thing. It didn't work. It burned. It's weird. It sounds like a cop-out, but like to go from my kitchen here, which like doesn't have nice stuff, to then like to nice kitchens, it's hard to like figure out. Like I know how fast my stove cooks because I cook on it every day. I know how my oven works, even though it doesn't work very well. I know how it works. So it's hard to like cook in something that's like, oh, it works correctly. It really will only take 5 minutes to heat up. Like, oops. So we burned the bread. Oh well. And then we didn't open presents. We played some games. I'm trying to think, did we play games? I know we sat and chatted for a long, long time. And then we were just pooped. So tired. And then the next morning was obviously Christmas. So we woke up. We had a big breakfast with the Hearts. With Rebecca and Nate came back over. And then we opened presents. And we FaceTimed with Abby because they're in, I almost said Philadelphia. And then I almost said Pennsylvania. Phoenix, Arizona. Hello. And so we FaceTimed with them. We opened their presents. And then we drove back down to Columbia, where we put on different pajamas and had fake Christmas, or like real Christmas, but at dinner time, with the Burnsides, because we usually do our big breakfast, and since it was the Hearts year for breakfast, we just did breakfast for dinner. So I had breakfast twice, delicious, favorite meal of the day anyway. So we did presents with them. We did like a gift exchange, like a white elephant, I think is what it's called. And so of course I wanted the one I got because look at this, it's right here. Dun, 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 dun. A sparkly, if I put the thing in, look, I'll show you. If I put this down here, it lights up. Oh, hold on. It lights up. Yeah, this is the charger cord, so it's a microphone. I'm obsessed with it. It's amazing. It was mine, my thing that I bought, and I stole it back because I love it. So anyway, we did that, and then the 26th, we went and said, like, we hung out with Lainey for a little bit. We double-checked with our house. We had someone come meet us out there and tell us, like, kind of what they think about pricing, and because we want to get a landlord, kind of like a property manager. The fence and the driveway are finally getting to be put in, like, now. So hopefully it'll look a bit more put together when I come home in May, so I can see it, like, officially done, because it's currently, the outside is kind of ratchet. But the inside looks nice. It's all finished. It needs to be clean, but it's all finished. Update-wise, I'm pretty sure I know I'm missing something with Christmas, so I am sorry if I missed something. I did get to see Mama. I gave her my Christmas card. If you didn't get one of our Christmas cards, tell Mom. She has a pile of them in the house. She probably doesn't know that she has a pile of them in the house, but she does. She has one. I got to snuggle all the dogs. Got to meet Eliza's dog, Palmer. Yeah, we had a pretty, it was pretty quick turnaround. I know I was there for, 23 days, but it felt like I was there for 4 with all the stuff we crammed into it. And I feel like that's kind of how it always is. We're always, every time I come home, I'm having to do a million things at once. So I think with my hip surgery in May, it'll be better, or April, because I'll have to chill out. I can't move. I can't go anywhere. So I think I'll use it to write a bunch, and then I'll also just kind of get to relax and do things I want to do, because where can I go? I can't really walk. I'll be in a brace with crutches. So we'll see. Because I can write while Mom's at work, or I can probably sleep for the first couple days. Our flight's back. We left on the 26th. We were supposed to get sorry about that. I forgot I had broccoli on the stove. I can officially eat broccoli if it is smothered in butter, garlic powder, and soy sauce. So I'm making soup, and I'm just warming up soup and broccoli for lunch, because it's 1:45. Where was I? Our flight was supposed to get us back into Riyadh at 10:50 on the 27th, and it would give us all day on the 28th, 2 full nights of sleep on the 27th and the 28th, because then we fly to Egypt on the 29th, and to meet Adam and the girls, as you've seen in the last video. Well, that did not work out. For some reason, when we landed maybe, I don't remember when we figured it out, but it was as we were getting on the plane, or when we landed, that our flight in the UK, because we had to connect in Heathrow, was delayed until, or canceled, and then the new flight we were on was at freaking 10 p.m. or something. So we were going to get into Riyadh at like 5 in the morning. I'm like, what? So then we went and talked, and they're like, oh, yeah, that flight was canceled, like, from an operational issue 3 weeks ago. We're like, well, we never got an email. And they're like, oh, you should have. So we called their helpline, and they were like, bummer. And then we called Chase, and they were like, bummer. So we were like, well, we have like 12 hours. Literally, we had a 12-hour layover. So we were like, or 11 and a half, before we had to like check in. Like, we couldn't even be in the airport. So we left our bags, like, go through the carousel. And not go through the carousel. We left, like, our bags were checked all the way to Riyadh, so we didn't have to go get them. So all we had was our carry-on. So we rented a car for $2 because it was a 4-hour rental, and drove like an hour and a half to Blenheim. It's Robert's like favorite estate. It's a palace, and he is like obsessed with it. It's where Winston Churchill grew up. And so we went inside, overpriced to see the inside. We've seen the inside like twice, but it was like decorated a Peter Pan Christmas theme. I don't know. Overpriced. It was like $80. Not worth it, but it was pretty. I got a hot chocolate, delicious. Did not get a crepe. Then we walked into town, and it was cold, really cold outside. But we got in this like tiny little, not even a pub, like just a cafe, and it had like a delicious soup. I got scrambled eggs, and Robert got a soup, and then I got something else. It all blurs together, but it was delicious. And then we walked around the town for like a hot second, went into some stores, and then walked back, got in our car, drove an hour and a half back to the airport, checked into our flight, ate dinner, and then got on our plane. Like, it sucked, but it was like an okay layover. Like, to get to go in and see, like, it was kind of Christmas market-y at Blenheim. So, like, since we didn't get to go to an actual Christmas market this past season, like, it was nice to see the UK and to just get some fresh air and see green before heading back to Saudi. So then we got into Saudi really, really late, and we were exhausted and pooped. But that was fine because we slept all day. We woke up at like 4 in the afternoon. And then the 29th, we woke up and went to the airport again. So we're like kind of just now like sitting down and relaxing. I obviously am sick, so I'm not getting to really start my routine like I wanted. But yeah, we're trying to plan some upcoming trips. So obviously I'm coming home in April. Before that, like I said, Mom and I are going to the UK. The trip we were supposed to do like 5 years ago when COVID hit, we're going to try to do now. So Harry Potter World, see some castles. She gets to meet my friends, which is exciting. So she gets to meet David. She gets to meet Robert's music people, Callum and Donnie and everyone, hopefully. So Jeffson even. Gosh, I can smell that broccoli. I can't smell anything with this cold, but I can smell that broccoli cooking. Whew. So we'll do that in April. For first Eid, we're trying to go to the Philippines, maybe Southeast Asia. Might go to Norway in February to see the Northern Lights. I gotta kind of get myself in gear for that. But yeah, we're just trying to. I had to send in my passport to the embassy. I had to mail it, which makes me uncomfortable because we don't have really mail here. Mail my passport to the embassy because I'm out of pages. And it's not like I'm out of pages. Like, I do get to travel a lot. Like, we went a lot of places this past year, but it's because Saudi, they stamp you when you leave and when you come back, and they like want a stamp on a fresh page. So I have like 82 Saudi stamps on like spread out over 4 pages. So it's really inconvenient. And their visas take up a whole page. So you're like, why can you not just have a stamp visa? Why does it have to be like a whole sticker? So hopefully, I mean, I have to get it back by February, but I absolutely have to have it back by April, or by March really. But I can't, it said 3 weeks, so it should be fine. So yeah, that's what our next trip is, probably Norway, then maybe the Philippines, then the UK for sure, then America, and then Adam and the girls, we might want to go to Southeast Asia this summer. Probably definitely do Alicante again in Spain. We're just kind of seeing where the wind takes us at this point. I'm doing a lot of writing. I'm trying to get book 2 written. There's a writers festival in Stockholm in August I'd love to go to because all my writer friends, that's like where they met, and then I got roped into it, and then I'm loving every second of it. I take improv classes on Saturdays now, so I'm in a movie on the 12th. My shooting day is the 12th of January. Just a lot going on, but like also not a lot, which is good. So we'll see. Just vibing these days. Like I said at the beginning, book 2 is out. I'm going to put the link to buy it in the email that I'm going to send everybody that says like, hey, new vlog, like I did for the Egypt vlog. Also, I'll put the link in like the YouTube box or whatever. I'm really excited about book 2. It's gotten really good reviews. So far, it's gotten a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads and Amazon. So that's positive. That's really good. I'm working on book 3 because my therapist was like, this was so good. When does the next one come out? I'm like, I'm sorry, it's coming. I'm doing my best. So I'm currently trying to get that done. I also have some other things I'm working on. So that's just where we're at right now. We're vibing. I'm a writer, flipping my hair back and forth. And Robert's doing work, and he's just cruising along. They've got an event next week. So, if there's an update, something worth updating, I'll do it. Again, I'm sure I missed like half of what I did over Christmas, but at this point, my brain is a puddle. So until next time, toodaloo. I forgot to mention that Out of Embers and Shadows, my first book, for those of you who don't know and haven't read it, shame on you, it won an award. It won a book award, so it won the Literary Titan Award. I submitted it for review by the Literary Titan, people, their review board, and they gave it 5 stars, and then apparently if you get 5 stars, you're automatically entered into their, challenge, or, their, I don't know. It won the award, so it won Literary Titan. When I go to reprint them in the future, I'll get to put the sticker on it. So for book 3, when I print it, it'll have a sticker that says, award-winning author. So, yeah, Out of Embers and Shadows won an award. If you haven't bought it, you should buy it. If you haven't bought book 2, you should buy it too, as well, I should say. Too. So we won an award. Award-winning author. Woo! All right, toodaloo. Hear me out, Geronimo Stilton.
Hear me out, Rasha Jasmine's Tiger in Aladdin.
Hear me out, Buzz Lightyear.
Hear me out, Leonardo, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Hear me out, Aladdin's magic carpet.
Hear me out, Anastasia's grandmother.
Hear me out, Beast Boy.
Hear me out, the Beast.